No, I have not heard from him. Adam says 2016 opened my eyes. Yeah. Okay, Kylie said, I think Jesus would save him regardless. So are you a universalist? Hi, good morning. Adula says, I would like to learn about other faiths too, to make a more informed decision. I think that's great. So I hope you're able to find information on lots of other faiths as well. I am not an expert on any of those, so unfortunately I can't provide you that information, but I think it's awesome to be curious and to get all the information that you can. Hey, Chill, you have a similar story. Hi, glad you're here. Benny says, true love doesn't force. Somebody can be sweet and choose the wrong way. So, to me, if the only two options then are believe in God and love God is one option, or if you don't believe in God, you just don't believe he exists, or if you believe he exists and don't follow him, then the only other option is eternal suffering. That is a type of force. That is not a free choice. I have heard from a lot of Christians on here who say that the fear of going to hell is what keeps them in their religion. And I know that's not everyone, so I'm not trying to speak for everyone. But if you have a system set up where the choice is love God or you have to suffer for eternity, that is not allowing anyone to choose love freely, because there's a terrible consequence if you don't choose that. And so that's not a free choice. Hi, good afternoon. Oliver, hey, I did not see your question. What's your question? Mace asked, do you have any idea what you think happens after death? My best guess is nothing. My best guess is that we just cease existing. But, I definitely could be wrong. Well, thanks for being here, Aaron. Thanks for reading my blog, Latin. So yeah, I have a blog if anyone's interested in looking at it. It's linked in my bio. Were you able to comment? Adula says, something inside me feels like a traitor for exploring other faiths. I'm so sorry. I know you said you were sort of reconstructing, and so I'm not sure where your beliefs are, but, I think if you believe in the Christian God, I would imagine that he's big enough to handle your questions, and, it's important for you to be able to make an informed choice. But I'm sorry you're feeling that way. Chill says, one night in my youth group, the subject of homosexuality came up, and the whole group, including the leaders, told me that my aunts were going to hell. I couldn't reconcile that at all. Yeah, I don't blame you. That's such a crappy thing to say. I don't think I'm allowed to swear on here. I'm not sure. I'm going to go with probably no, so I'll say that's a crappy thing. I'm really sorry. Yeah, that's not fair. Thanks, Galactic. I'm glad you're here. Hey, Margaret. So, no, I'm sorry. My topic is not teaching holiness. So this is a place for people who are deconstructing their faith. My goal here is to help support people in that process, wherever you are in that process and whatever you believe. So I'm not trying to change anyone's beliefs. And again, I support you wherever you are. But I am not teaching holiness. Oh, thanks for letting me know, Latin. I wonder if there's some setting that I have that didn't allow that for some reason. Thank you for letting me know. I will check on that. Hi, Sarai. Glad to see you. John says, I believe people should embrace their perspective, but try and walk in others' shoes. Yeah, I like that. That's really beautiful. Pablo says, you are confused. Anyone who says they're Christian because they're scared of hell is not Christian. I think that's a complicated thing. Like, I don't think it's so black and white. I think there are people who genuinely believe in God and also at the same time are scared of hell. You know, like I think those two things can exist together. So it's, yeah, again, I think it's complicated. Oh, thanks, Chris. I appreciate it. John says, I struggle with the credentials of religious leaders. Yeah, it's interesting. So the last couple of years that I was a Christian, I was going through a PhD program. And so like, I was very aware of how do you acquire a credential and what's required of you, to have these different credentials. And, the pastor of the church I was at the time, I think he probably had an MDiv maybe, and he did not seem to be super knowledgeable about things that I thought he should be knowledgeable about. And it is like, what should the qualifications be for leading a congregation? And who should decide who's qualified is a really complicated question. Hi, Jay. The secular human asks, are you religious? No, I am not. I used to be and no longer am. Hi. Angela says, what does it feel like to seize existence? Can you describe the process? I'm not quite sure what you mean. Do you mean like embracing that this is all there is? Yuri says, cool, ex-Christian, it must feel good to be free. So I can tell you that no longer being religious, I do have a lot more peace than I used to have. And so that part has been really relieving. Elizabeth says Catholic priests and nuns go through a really long process of education. Yeah, there seem to be a lot of things about Catholicism that are so different from Protestantism. There are a lot of things about Catholicism that I disagree with, but I mean, I do appreciate the regulation of how you are able to lead a church. Hi, Adrian, I'm doing well. Oh, got it. Agilus, I meant cease existing, meaning like C-E-A-S-E. Sorry if I wasn't speaking clearly. So cease existing meaning no longer existing, so that your existence just stops. Sorry about that, my bad. Oh, that's interesting. Latin says Catholic clergy may go through a lot of education, but not selection. Canadian says, church stresses me out. If I do go, I sit on the top balcony, far back pew. I'm antisocial. Yeah, I do think church can be really difficult for people who are introverts. So I imagine that's its own set of concerns.